Hello, sexy people. Thanks for tuning into a new tutorial on my YouTube channel. As you can see from the smile on my face, I am happy that you are here. Today is going to be a great day. We're going to learn how to make some resin placemats for your table, and then you'll be able to make some for other people. And the topic of discussion today is fire is meant to burn. That's right. So let's get started. Now, I want to put this disclaimer out there for folks that are new to my channel. In my tutorials, you'll see that I like to craft and have conversations with you. Basically, we're crafting and conversing, or in layman's terms, we crafting and conversating. It's like you're in my house and we're making crafts and we just having girl talk, grown woman girl talk. My channel is not suitable for kids, and I have it set up that way because most of the time my language is strong and topics can be kind of hot. If that's cool with you, climb on board. If it gets too hot for you and you feel like you need to bail out, ain't no love lost. Now let's get started. Now this discussion is for my sisters, my beautiful black sisters, because I have to let y'all know a little bit about some of the things y'all post on social media that actually makes me laugh, okay? I find that if I ever want to get a good laugh, I'll just go on social media and look at somebody's status, because surely someone is going to post something ridiculous that I'm going to find funny. Such is the case with women that are always hopping on social media to expose their man problems. And the most popular post that I see with my black sisters is when they say things like, niggas ain't shit. I'm done with niggas. They always cheating. I'm sick of niggas lying. Why can't niggas act right? And although I'm paraphrasing here, that's pretty much the type of post that women are always posting. And I find myself rolling my eyes each and every time. But I want to let you know, I want to let you in on something that most black women don't even think about. The reason why niggas ain't shit is because they niggas. Plain and simple. That's where it begins and where it ends. Chris Rock said many years ago that he loved black people, but he hate niggas because he understood that there's a difference between the two. The problem with a lot of black women is that you ask for something and then you get it and then you got mad that you got it. You've been saying for a long time, I want a real nigga, and that's exactly what you got. All the great attributes of a black man that you were expecting of a black man and that are in a black man, you were expecting that from a nigga. And that's where you messed up at. Niggas don't have no logic. They live and breathe toxic traits, sis. So chances are they're going to disappoint you. They're going to do stupid shit because that's all they know to do. Trying to get them to see the error of their ways is like speaking a foreign language to them. Just in case you're confused as to what some of their traits are, let me just give you a few examples, okay? Like, let's say, okay, here's one. This is right off the top of my head. They be the ones posted up at the funeral home wearing those t-shirts that say things like, and I'm just using this as an example. T-shirt be like saying, oh, that's god awful English. T-shirt will say, rest in peace, Big Mike. And on the t-shirt, they got a picture of Big Mike with a pair of angel wings on his back, with the stairway to heaven in the background, and the caption that reads, gone too soon, when the truth of the matter is his evil ass wasn't gone soon enough. And, because when Big Mike was alive and well, he terrorized the whole neighborhood. He was a woman beater. He molested kids. He robbed and bullied the elderly to the point where they were scared to even come out their own house. And he didn't even take care of his own kids. He terrorized them. But yet the minute he died, now we want to paint him as a legend and put some angel wings on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean about niggas not having logic. Your homie caused all this hell on earth and you think he in heaven living it up. Big Mike was a nigga and so was his homies. They be the ones at the park, and I know y'all see them. They be the ones in the park, and I'm from Cleveland. If you're from Cleveland, you already know which park I am talking about. These niggas come to this one park. They come out in droves at this park. And it's always something bad that goes down at this park. Either somebody gets their ass beat, or it's a bunch of people jumping each other, and it's always shots ringing out. It's always somebody getting killed over there. I avoid that park like the plague because of how niggas act. And niggas are always going to that one park. My rule to myself is, if there's a bunch of niggas around, I ain't coming around. Niggas don't care who they hurt. They're selfish, and they rebuke any wisdom that anyone is trying to give them. And, they never turn off their foolishness. They're the ones that speed through the residential neighborhoods and they Monte Carlo at 3 a.m. in the morning, and they sound system be loud as hell. Sound like tin cans in the back of the truck. Boom, 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 boom. That's exactly what it sound like. And here you are, you trying to get your sleep because you got to get up at 6 a.m. to go to work. But you're wide awake at 3 a.m. because all of this nigga shit that's outside your window. No consideration for other people. And if you try to address them, they want to fight. So the moral of the story is, if a nigga is not respecting boundaries in everyday life, they're not going to respect boundaries with you. As far as they're concerned, everything will be your fault. And they're going to make excuses for the wrong behavior that they do. They have very, very narcissistic traits like no other. And they're the ones that think that a woman is supposed to go half on the bills as if she's his college roommate. And don't get me wrong, a black man can have a nigga trait, but 80% of him, basically lines up with everything that you ever want in a man, then you got you a good one. So I just want to let y'all know something about that, okay? Stop saying niggas ain't shit. That's exactly what they supposed to be. They supposed to be shit. Okay, so leave them there. They for the streets, okay? Leave them right where they at. Now let's get on to these crafts. Okay, y'all see what I did with these artificial silver roses? Isn't that cute? And I got those. I just went to Amazon and got those. But I like to get things in bulk. And you can go to some distributors and get things in bulk. But I just wanted to hurry up and get something delivered to me fast. So I got the silver artificial rose petals, and I got the gold foil flakes that you see I'm putting on here. And what I did with this resin, I put a thin coat of resin down on the mold. Okay. I used that as a quote unquote glue to put, the rose petals and the gold foil down. And as you see, I'm completed. I put everything down that I want to put on my mold. And this mold is about 13 to 14 inches long, okay? So I let that sit overnight, okay? This is day 2. I put another coat of resin on. And the reason why I'm doing that is to cover up the gold and the roses so that you don't feel any bumps or anything like that. And when it comes to resin, you can get any brand you want. I like Illuminite. That's the name of the brand that I normally use. But there's so many great ones out there. Real great brands out there. And but that's the one I was using for that moment. And then I go ahead and put down another coat of the resin just to cover it up, because what you don't want is for your placemat to have any bumps. So you put down another coat of resin so that it be a smooth feel across across the placemat, because the rose petals have little bumps, and you don't want to feel that on your placemat. So you just want to cover it on up. And I'm telling you, it takes about 4 days to make this thing. But it's worth it. With resin, you don't want to rush resin. Don't rush it, because if you rush resin, it's not going to cure right. It'll turn out gumby. Things start sticking to it. Let it take its time. Okay, the longer it sits, the better, because it'll cure, even better when it sits for a longer time. And you know what? When I got this heat gun, but let me tell you something. I wasn't going to buy one at first because I was like, heat, whatever. Because you can also take bubbles out of resin with alcohol, a little bit of alcohol. So I had a little alcohol spray. But I said, you know what, let me try this heat gun. This heat gun was the best thing ever that I ever bought. It gets those bubbles out so fast. Now this is day 4. And day 4 is the kicker right here. Now that we put that resin on, we're going to go ahead and make another coat of resin with our paint. This is acrylic paint, y'all. And as you see with that last coat of resin, I checked to make sure there was no bumps on my placemat from the rose petals. Everything was a smooth feel to it before adding this last coat of resin with the paint. And we're going to go ahead and mix that in. And you don't need a lot of paint. You don't need a lot. And some people use mica powder, but as I learned recently, you don't have to use mica powder unless you want like a pearl finish, because mica powder has a lot of sparkle to it, you know. But you can use acrylic paint. You just got to know how to use it. Just put a little bit in, okay? And this is going to be my background because I want a purple background. And you can make it in a set of 4, however you want to do it. I just wanted to make one so you could see how I made it. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be making a resin placemat series. So this is part 1, I guess you could say. And I'll be making a new resin placemat this week. I'm going to start a series, probably be a series of 10 placemats I'm making out of resin. And there we go. They're going to finish product. Yay! The description of everything is in the box below. Love ya. Take care.